Fact: there is no official medical or psychological disorder named sex addiction or porn addiction. I'm going to tell you what that means for your treatment, and I'm going to give you the one question your treatment provider must be able to answer if you're thinking of hiring someone to help you accelerate your journey like a counselor, therapist, or coach. I'm Craig Perra, and for the past 12 years, I've worked exclusively with men struggling with sex addiction and porn addiction. Thousands of clients from 28 countries all over the world. I've been on the Steve Harvey Show, Katie Couric Show, Lifetime Television, Digital Addictions, A&E, and I've learned a lot over the course of the past 12 years, and I want to share a very, very, very important lesson. Fact: the American Society for Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists say on their website that the sex and porn addiction model used by treatment providers all over the world is deeply flawed, and it falls beneath the standard of care and actually is not supported by science. It hurts people. The American Psychiatric Association, the gatekeeper of mental health diagnoses in the United States, they studied sex addiction for porn addiction for 5 years. The results of these university-grade comprehensive studies were all over the place. And the diagnosis of this complicated self-esteem issue, integrity issue, coping strategy issue, shame issue, intimacy issue, they said maybe putting the symptom at the center of the diagnosis isn't such a great idea, and they rejected it. There's even a book by Dr. David Ley called The Myth of Sex Addiction. The World Health Organization also rejected sex addiction and porn addiction as a diagnosis and a treatment philosophy in favor of sexually obsessive compulsive disorder. This is a process disorder, and it's treated very differently than an addiction for alcohol, for example, and these details matter. The truth is that these issues are complicated. Our medical and psychological systems haven't figured out what to call it and how to treat it. But what we do know, though, is different people respond to different things. So treating it like a disease, like alcoholism, is definitely not the right approach for everybody. The advice I have for anyone who's considering hiring a counselor, a therapist, or coach to help them accelerate, deepen, and make that journey sustainable, they should demand a satisfactory answer to these questions. 1. Why was the sex addiction and porn addiction model rejected by the American Psychiatric Association? And how does this rejection impact your treatment philosophy? Question number 2. What exactly are we going to do in our work together? And how specifically is that work going to help me build an identity of healthy sexuality? How is this going to teach me the tools necessary to create and sustain a great life and break this habit that likely goes back to my childhood? And how specifically is this going to help me long term? Obviously, these are loaded questions. I know the answer to these questions, and my clients know the answer to these questions. My clients know exactly what tools they need to use to be proactive instead of reactive. And obviously, this is a commercial for my structured and highly efficient at-home programs for highly motivated, professional, and successful men who need a rapid turnaround because it's hitting the fan. And they want to use this crisis to grow in deep and profound ways. Ready for serious and efficient and convenient action? Click the link to schedule an appointment with me.